Bom dia a todos, and welcome to Better Living Through Salesforce, or How Health Cloud plus Field Service Lightning equals Home Healthcare. I'm Chris. I'm going to let Ben do most of the introductions, and before that, just to give you a bit of a framework for today, it is mostly, almost entirely a demo. We didn't want there to be too many boring slides, so we're going to do a few slides and we'll get them out of the way quickly. The live demo does mean that it has a huge potential to go wrong. We're fairly dependent on Wi-Fi and phone connectivity, so bear with us and enjoy that if it goes wrong.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, good morning, and thank you everyone for being here. So as Chris mentioned, his name is Chris, although he requires no real introduction. My name is Ben, and we both work for an organisation called Mavens. So Mavens' goal and objective as a company is to help connect people to cures, and we do so through the provision of cloud-based software, predominantly in the healthcare and life sciences space, and even more hyper-focused with pharmaceutical companies. And what that really means is building tools, building systems, predominantly on Salesforce and various other partners, to help those organisations connect with their patients, their consumers. And that's what we're going to be showing a bit of here today.
And specifically, we've chosen to demo a home healthcare application. So as Ben told you there, we have made to build a lot of different types of applications for healthcare companies, all around this concept of connecting people to cures. So what is it we've chosen home healthcare? Well, there's a few reasons that we think, we hope that this will be engaging and interesting for you. The first is that this is something a bit different. You know, this is not your usual Salesforce use case. We're not showing Sales Cloud, we're not showing Marketing Cloud. What we're going to show instead is two of Salesforce's lesser known products, Health Cloud and Field Service Lightning. We're going to show them in combination to drive what's called a patient support program. And these patient support programs are impactful. So there's another reason that you'll get something out of today's show. So really, a patient support program serves two purposes. They make a real difference to the lives of patients that are suffering from any condition, but especially rare disease, because they quite often they sort of revolve around education. And the better educated a patient is, the better their adherence to their therapy is, and the better their outcomes, the more chance they have of recovering or managing their condition. The second thing that these programs do is often they are delivered at home, so you don't need to travel to a clinic or a hospital, and therefore you're in a more familiar surroundings, and you're more receptive to that education, and you kind of know better how to manage your own therapy.
So thirdly, this is really quite a timely topic. So in the healthcare industry at the moment, we're kind of obsessed with this idea of patient-centricity. So really putting the patient at the centre of everything you do through various technological advancements. You know, the patient has a lot of control and power over visibility and also owning their own kind of healthcare. And we're seeing a real shift towards kind of this new concept of outcomes-based reimbursement. So as a healthcare company, as a pharmaceutical organisation, you're actually only going to make money or get paid if your patients actually realise the therapeutic benefit of the treatments or the products that you provide. And lastly, you know, we don't expect everyone's going to walk away from here today and go and implement Health Cloud at their, sales and service customers or, your own organisations, but we do hope that this is somewhat relatable in that we are or all have been or know family members who are patients. And we all, definitely have health, which is near and dear to us, so we hope that you can relate to this in some way, shape or form.
Okay, so before we dive into the demo, let's quickly run you through the cast, the characters that we're going to be playing today. We're going to be taking on the role of a fictitious biopharmaceutical company called Mateo, based right here in Barcelona. And we're going to be looking at health bound field service applications through the eyes of firstly Adam Advisor, who is Mateo's care coordinator, and then two of their field nurses, Nicola and Sarah. But it's not just Mateo, of course.
So we also have some external characters out there in the real world. So we have primarily our HCP, as we call them, or doctor, more commonly known, who is a specialist physician working in the local area with local athletes and sports stars. And the patient that we'll be referring today is one of said local sports stars, who for obvious reasons we cannot disclose their identity at this time.
Would anyone like to take a guess at which of us is dressing as a doctor? That's right, me. Okay, so let's get straight into the demo, and we start with scene one, which takes place inside an HCP's office.
Which one actually walk across? Okay, so now assuming the role of Dr. Amy Avery, I'm here logged into Mateo Biopharma's community. So the main reason I'm here today is to refer a new patient, as I mentioned. But the really nice thing about this community is that I can also read through, check out news, maybe news about clinical trials which are taking place with Verteo, other drugs which might be interesting to me to know about for the future, as well as tracking the progress of patients that I've referred previously through their healthcare journey with the pharma company. But as I said, the main purpose that I'm logged in here today is to refer a new patient. And as I said, I'm not allowed to disclose his identity, but let's just say he's a local Argentinian footballer. The drug that we're going to be prescribing today is a growth hormone, and he is paying for the treatment himself with the money that he's saved on his tax bill over the last couple of years. So the information that I need to add to this form is really basic patient identifying information, so you did not see this and I did not show it to you. But medical record number and then just contact information as well as the patient's name, and also the address at which we're going to deliver our home healthcare program, so where we're going to visit the patient out in the field. So the last thing I need to do is just select the care program that our patient, that we're referring our patient to, which is going to be our ColdCap Home Health. So ColdCap being the specialist growth hormone drug to treat chronic shortness disease. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Save, at which point that information is going to be submitted to the friendly team at Verteo Biopharma, and they can take the necessary next steps.
Alright, so that is going to lead us into C2. I won't go into the presentation mode on these slides well, because I'll just kind of make them a bit bigger here. So, C2 is going to take place inside the office of Mateo, and we're going to take on the role. I'm going to magically transform myself. I'm going to be unrecognisable because I am now out of advisor. I'm sure you can see the likeness from this very tiny photo. So, I'm playing the role of Adam. Adam works for Mateo, and my role is really to help enroll patients, and then to schedule their therapy and to manage our field nursing team to help deliver that therapy. And I do most of the first part of that inside Salesforce HealthCloud. So I'm here on the Today page in HealthCloud. This is where I see my latest chatter updates and tasks that are due or overdue, because I am a very good care coordinator. I have nothing that needs doing right now. So instead, I'm going to go ahead to my referrals list. I'm going to look for any new patient referrals, and fingers crossed, if I refresh the list, there is one here for an unnamed professional footballer. So what I'm going to do, my first role is to really enroll this patient in our home healthcare. So I'm going to convert them from a referral into a true patient. So I select the record, click Convert to Patient. There's going to be a lot of things crossing involved here, but okay, so we've passed step one, which is we don't have any duplicates of this patient. So let's move on now to assigning a nurse. So I know that Nicola Nurse is one of our ColdCap growth hormone specialists, so I'm going to assign this patient to Nicola, and then I just review the final details and click Convert. And we go now, that is good. That might be the first cut. That might be email related. What I'm going to do, rather than take too much of your time here, is I'm going to go to our backup account. And we'll see if this works. Yeah. In fact, if we are totally good for time. How are we for time, by the way, so far? I guess we have lots of time. I might just try and quickly fix that referral. We can definitely cut this far out. Okay, let's use this one. So this is our backup patient, and we have carried out conversion, and we've arrived into HealthCloud. So this is the care console UI as part of HealthCloud. And if you're familiar with landing pages, this will look pretty familiar to you. These are all components. And then on the left, we have some HealthCloud specific components. So we have the patient card, and we have a navigation menu where I can go and select a new tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the tabs that have been pre-populated for HealthCloud. This is the timeline. Now the timeline view is something unique to HealthCloud where I can see the tasks and the visits that have been automatically assigned for this patient. If we look at the care plan tab, you'll see that a care plan is HealthCloud's way of really managing the care of that patient, guiding them through the program. We've split it up into a number of program stages. The first stage is an onboarding stage. I need to assign them into a welcome onto the program, and there's a task for me to go and carry that out. I can look at the care team list here to get an idea of who is who in this patient's environment, but there's a much more graphical way of doing that, which is the collaboration tab. So if I open the collaboration tab, you'll see we have a nice graphic here with the patient at the very centre, and then all of their external caregivers and anyone internally at the tail that's working on that patient's care. Now, some patients might be unlucky enough to have more than one condition, and they might be enrolled in more than one care programme. If they're in more than one programme, they'll have more than one team. So there is also a household map that is a way of us presenting all of the entire patient's universe within one screen. So you see all of their separate care plans here, with any related accounts and any related contacts. And by the way, just to wear a maintenance hat for a minute, if you have any questions about how this is configured, so what a patient looks like from the data model, what a care plan looks like from the data model, how you configure it, then let me know at the end, we can run through that. Okay, so I'm going to move ahead and book one of these patients' next appointments. So you'll see this is one I've used before, so the first visit's actually been completed, ignore that if you can, and we'll instead go ahead and look at our second service appointment. So now we want to book a field nurse to go and visit this patient out there in the field. So we see the service appointment record, and you'll see at the top here we have a book appointment action. If I click that, what is going to happen is that field service lightning now, sort of shifting into that side of things, is going to run some rules, and it's going to suggest some potential open slots where my nurse can go and visit that patient. You'll see it also ranks them. So here we have a preference for serving the patient as soon as possible, which is why these top three are recommended. But I'm going to go and select 9 AM on Monday morning. That service has been booked, and we can fast forward now to Monday morning. So if we look at C3, we booked the appointment, Monday morning arrived. Now what we need to do is to really just make sure that we're on track for the day. I'm going to do that using the field service app within the application. By the way, you'll notice that I haven't switched applications here. So we've got Health Cloud and Field Service working together in the same app within the same one. And really that was as easy as putting the book appointment action on the Health Cloud page there. Okay, so this is the dispatch console in Field Service, and this we're looking at the Gantt over here. Now, the Gantt is really a kind of a nice visual way of seeing what the team's day looks like. So you see these yellow boxes here are the booked appointments. The black lines between them are the expected travel time. So everything looks pretty good. I don't think that anything could possibly go wrong, but wait, my phone's ringing. Hello?
Adam, it's Nicola. I've had a rough night. I've been very ill, unable to sleep. I'm definitely not down at the beach in Barcelona. I'm just not going to be able to make it today, so you're going to have to reschedule some of my appointments, I'm afraid.
All right, well, have fun. I mean, get better, yeah? We'll see you next week. I think she does this every Monday. Okay, well, let's just get on with it. We're all professionals here. So, what do I need to do? I'm going to firstly drag absence onto Nicola's record in Gantt. And this may take a little while to refresh, but what that's going to do is Field Service is going to now inform me that there's a violation. So if I just hover over that service, it's going to say, we can't perform this because the person you assigned it to is terribly sick. So what do we do? Well, Field Service gives us a nice way around that with the get candidates action. So what this is going to do is going to say, who else could perform this service? Well, Sally could. Sally is another one of our co-account specialist nurses, and critically, she's available within the same arrival window that we promised the patient. So let's select Sally and reschedule that for her. And when the Gantt refreshes, we should see that error goes away. So now everything is, there's no violations on the Gantt. And now what we can do before we dispatch those jobs out to the field nurse, let's just take a quick look at what Sally's day looks like. I can do that by clicking her name. And quick summary, we have 3.5 hours of services booked today, with an average travel time of about 16 minutes, so not too bad. If I want, I can also see that on a map. So this is, starting from our hotel here today, this is her projected route for the day. So she'll go to visit 1, 2, 3, 4, and then return back to her home office. And what we can do, if you want, is we can even overlay the current Barcelona traffic conditions. And if we really want to be sneaky, we could flick into satellite mode here, zoom down on the beach, and I'm sure if we look hard enough, we could probably find it. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead with the very next stage of development that we're going which is to dispatch all of these jobs out to Sally in the field. So I'm going to select those in the account. I'm going to go change status to dispatched. And they go blue, meaning they've been dispatched. And at that point, we are going to now move on to scene 4. We're going to join the nurse who is out on the road. So I'm going to leave the field service account up in the background. And I'm also going to show you the device here. So please take it away.
So now, assuming the role of study specialist who is in it, I'm going to go about my day. So my day starts. Oops, what's going on here? There we go. Little wobble. My day starts very much the same way every day. I wake up, I have my breakfast, and I check my handy convenient field service lightning app, and I should refresh that before I started talking, but that was surprisingly fast. So I check what my day looks like. I'm a field-based nurse, so all of my work is on the road out visiting patients. So the first thing I see in the morning is all of my service appointments which have been assigned to me for the day. And the first thing I'm going to do here is check the details of my first appointment, which I can actually see is at Camp No or Now, depending on where you're from. And I'm going to open up in Google Maps my directions so I can plan my route there. I can also factor in local traffic at the time to make sure I can find the most efficient route to Camp Now. So happy that I have the most efficient route planned out. I'm going to notify my now named patient that I'm on my way by sending him a quick SMS or text if you're born after the 60s. And then I'm going to drive fast forward over to Camp Now to meet my patient. Driving. And then before I head into my appointment, all I need to do to notify my colleagues back at the office that the visit is in progress, I'm going to go ahead and update the status of my appointment to in progress when I'm allowed to do so.
If you're allowed to.
So this is on Wi-Fi.
That's on Wi-Fi.
It's really go out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Kill the Wi-Fi involving still going to look like it's Wi-Fi connected because QuickTime does that.
There we go. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and update my status to, my service appointment status to in progress for heading into the stadium.
So when this scan refreshes, you should see the colour change on this appointment here.
Okay, so now in to meet my patient. Good morning, Mr. Lyon Messi.
Morning.
How are you?
Pleasure to be here. I'm all right. I'm fine. I do all right.
But don't tell me we're here to talk about that repetitive strain injury in your trophy lifting arm again.
You know, I have been giving it a bit of rest recently, especially avoiding the very heavy trophies, Champions League, so so yeah, not too bad, not too bad. The odd cocktail rate here and there, but it shouldn't match it.
No, I wouldn't worry about the cocktail rate. It's not really a real trophy, so it's not really going to have any impact on your trophy lifting arm. So
That is a really
if I just check the details of the appointment, it looks like we're actually here to help you treat your chronic shortness disease. So really the purpose of my visit here today is to help administer and show you how to administer this growth hormone Colcap from here on. So don't be concerned about the size of the syringe. If anything, this really demonstrates that you should notice some real benefits soon. This was a normal size syringe before I put the growth hormone in. Okay. So all I need to do is go ahead and administer this straight to the side of your face.
Okay, yep. That seems normal.
Okay, and you should notice some results pretty quick.
Well, I'm starting to feel a little taller.
Yeah, good. Okay. So then, the next thing I need from you, Mr. Lyon Messi, is just to certify that this visit did indeed take place today, and get your confirmation that you're happy with the injection to the face. To administer that for yourself from now on. I just need to get your signature.
What? Sorry?
I just need to get your signature.
Autograph hunter.
You're
going to sell this
on
one.
eBay now. Yeah. No, really, this is just, as I said, to certify the visit took place, get your confirmation, and confirm that you are happy to administer said injection to your own face.
That seems fair enough. I'll happy to sign.
So I've noticed that there's no Wi-Fi down here, so I am actually going into airplane mode, but you can't see that.
It's because I know we're artificially killing the Wi-Fi, rather than actually relying on the Wi-Fi dying on us.
So I'm just going to go ahead and generate the service report and I just need to collect your signature.
Will do.
And I'll type the name in for you.
That's very kind.
And then if you wouldn't mind, just sign
Sure.
for me.
Sorry.
Awesome, thank you. You're very welcome. So I'm going to generate the signed report, and I don't have any Wi-Fi signal in the changing room down here at the moment. But when I come back online, we should see that the service report is generated for us. Any second. There it is. So just to confirm, I'm happy and to prove to Leo that his signature is ending up on an official document, not on my eBay account. There we go. So the only thing that's left for me to do is to go ahead, change the status of my service appointment to completed, save this appointment, and then head down to the beach to meet Sally. Nicola, I'm Sally.
And you can see that the appointment's been updated. That would have synced during the offline when it comes back on. Very good. So I think hopefully you'll agree, I'll need that tomorrow. Hopefully you'll agree then that the patient's therapy is back on track. We've delivered a patient support program, we've helped to educate them, and I'm sure they'll see some noticeable differences. Okay, so let us just briefly flip back to the slides. And really what we want to do here is kind of wrap this up for you, really, and just summarise the sort of things that we hope you have learned. I hope we can take away from this demo, which wasn't completely without fault. It was just smooth enough, I think we might have got away with it. So let's look at some of the things that we hope you can learn from today. And one is to get an idea of what healthcare can do. The fact that it can be used to drive communities for healthcare providers, for doctors, to go and make patient referrals. And to the way in which those referrals can be converted into patients using the out-of-box health cloud conversion process that I promise you does sometimes work. And then we spent a bit of time looking at the care console UI. And this is really the primary interface of health cloud, where you see custom health cloud components like the timeline, like the care team, and the different ways that you can present that graphically, and also the way that the care plan is structured, being a care plan with a number of stages and goals and tasks to help you move the patient through those stages of the journey. So from there, we transitioned seamlessly into field service lightning. We looked at how the functionality there lends itself really nicely to a home healthcare kind of field service context. We looked at the appointment booking, which was in the office with Adam Advisor. We watched how he then dispatched those appointments to a field-based nurse, and how that field-based nurse, myself, picked up those appointments. We saw that all within the mobile app. We were routed to our appointment by Google Maps, doing what it does best, and we saw how we can capture a patient signature, and all of that took place, well, I say all of that, half of that, the last bit, took place offline, which is really nice and necessary for a good mobile solution. So then, just to reiterate how we've connected these two together, it's a very quote-unquote integration, a very easy quote-unquote integration. Really, it was as simple as putting that health cloud, that field service book appointment action into the health cloud layer. And the reason that is so simple is that both of these products sit on top of Service Line. And now, especially in later releases, they both work within the working console. And that does two things. It gives us a really nice way of presenting those two things together. And the way that is done is through using the second thing, which is Lightning App Builder. So using the App Builder, we can actually configure this component from field service should appear here, and this one from health cloud can appear here. So we kind of have a unified user experience there without needing to chop and change between applications. And when we put those two things together, what did we end up with? We ended up with a home healthcare application. So really what we were aiming to demonstrate to you here today was something a little bit different, away from the sales and service, which you'll see a lot of the time at Salesforce events, kind of demonstrating some of our expertise within the healthcare industry. So we hope you found it relatable, hope you enjoyed it. We tried to kind of make it a bit fun. So we hope you enjoyed the session and maybe even pick something up. So thank you very much. I think we have plenty of time for any questions if there are any. So if you want to know a little bit about how to keep it. And I think we're saying the best question, or maybe even every question, depending on what you want, we'll walk away with one of these lovely props, not this one, this is mine. You have to
So just from my little understanding of healthcare and field services, is it safe to assume that you guys work with everything out of the box, right? There is no, maybe the logic behind customizing.
Absolutely, exactly that. So this is very much a demo. We've built it to, in theory, work, although we saw that didn't quite go down. Yes, in terms of functionalities, all the user experience stuff you saw, all of the ways that we present the timeline, the guaranteed field service, the mobile app, completely standard out of the box. Now, both those products have additional licenses. But yeah, so and you've absolutely got it 100% correct. The only thing that we've really customized there is the logic behind it. So doing things like when you convert a patient onto a specific program, the org needs to know which visit should take place for this program. So basically populating of data has been done through the logic. And things like putting the care team together, so having the player's wife and manager in the care team. But not heavily customized.
And if I could just squeeze one more in, sorry. I think the use case is really good because I work on that side service for the last 2.5 years, and I think the use case that you guys put into more advanced home patient thing. And if I can suggest, or maybe you already thought about it, in terms of using the SOS functionality, right? Do you have any situation where you have implemented, or you just thought about this use case as kind of promoting the linking of both, and how can that be maybe enhanced? When I look at this, immediately the thing that I see is the SOS that he can immediately call when you see the size of the syringe or something like that. He faints and he needs an ambulance to go and pick him up. Have you guys thought about?
So SOS, for anyone that doesn't know, is essentially the Salesforce Service Cloud product that allows you to make FaceTime calls, I guess, for all of that phrase. Video calls. Yeah, video calls. And so within the health cloud world, they don't call that SOS, they call it Telex, but it's exactly the same product. It's not a core part of a typical patient support program because that tends to be about you've done all of the primary care physician stuff, so you've seen your doctor, you've been diagnosed, you're on the program. This is really about educating the patient and making sure they can adhere to the standard protocol that they've already been prescribed. Could we add it? Yes, absolutely. So you're right. So we could have said, we could have used
like a nurse that went to the beach, for example, and you don't have anyone in the field that can go there. Could you use that?
Absolutely. She might not have wanted to take that with all the stuff that was going on in the background on the beach, but yeah, absolutely. These are things that could go.
We've got a very short amount of time.
About the offline modes. What I mean is, tell me more about the grey areas.
We didn't include any in this demo because this was all out of the box, but you can have flows embedded in field service lighting out. There are some offline limits of those, but they're probably things you can expect, right? Like look at fields don't work because you can't access the data, that kind of thing. It's a pretty soundly built offline app for the basic use cases. These are very repeatable processes from a field team that are doing similar things. They might be slightly different visits or slightly different work types, but their use cases are reasonably simple, which is I need to find out where I'm going, I need to find out why I'm going there. There are some things, a lot of things we didn't show you here, like automatic dispatch, notifications and products consumed, so you can actually say when I'm on site with the patient, I can say I used a syringe to do this, and I can say I left a pamphlet. Offline specific limitations, I haven't run into any myself, but I know that if you were to put flows in there, you want to look out for that.
I just wanted to explain that error. So we know why there was the error, and it's because when you convert the patient to a patient, it's because a user is generated to add them to the patient community. So I must have used the name Leo Messi in our demo before. It's actually duplicating the user alias. So just to demonstrate with you, actually kind of know what's going on.
We have no idea. But in a backup account, we've got that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We're about.
Interesting that I was thinking about it because there's really a huge synergy between the two products. Because in the field server there's the emergency scheduling that you can use for it, creating a policy to do this.
Yeah.
So it's really,
and Salesforce were aware of that. So this is a demo that we originally built. Tell me if I've got time. But this is a demo we originally built a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, for a particular customer that came to us with a requirement. at that time, it was the first time that anyone had put healthcare and field service together. So we were talking to Salesforce about it and working quite closely with their product team to do it. And they said, well, maybe we should make these two products more close. And in summer 18, I read the release notes yesterday, there is the first stage of a more standard way of connecting these two. All it does for now is it means that if you have a healthcare license and you have a field service license, you can view healthcare objects in the field service app. So you wouldn't need to switch between field service and Salesforce 1 to kind of get that combined approach. So it's something that Salesforce are aware of and trying to bring together. So this is something that we did that they might ultimately come up with more integrations between the two that mimic this kind of thing. But for now, the connection between the two is something that we put together.
Trailer related. I know, I think we're out of time, but thank you all for coming. Thanks for